Well, welcome back, folks. Today, what we are going to get done is we're going to start with putting the wiring in and hopefully get up some insulation. I think before I do that, I'm going to insulate these two copper pipes and PEX pipes that go to the wash machine. But I do have a pretty good plan on the wiring. Electrical code says that on the backsplash in the kitchen and dining room area, and you can use that as well with these circuits, you have to run two 12 gauge 20 amp circuits. And what you do is you split up about half the kitchen on one circuit, half the kitchen on the other. So it's going to have 12 gauge. I'm going to poke some holes up there on the top of that header wall up there. And it's going to make a home run right to the breaker box. And the breaker box is going to use these two 20 amp GFCI circuit breakers. And I think I should be able to come down from the wall up in the attic, probably poke another hole in here, put another clamp on it, and run those wires down this side. That drain is working great. What are you doing, Duggar? Duggar! Doggy! All right, so let's get started. Okay, so I think I'm going to start on this wall right here. I'm not going to use this light switch here. This is on another circuit other than this wall, and I'm still using it right now. But the new light switch is going to be here lower. It's going to have 3 switches on it, and all 3 of them are going to be on dimmers. I'll have probably 4 in the living room. I'll have 2 above the island, and then I'll have probably four here and maybe 1 directly above the sink to shine the sink. All of this wiring, this is for the bedroom on the other side. You can see it runs into this outlet that's live right now. This outlet here and all these outlets here are all dead. I'm going to cut all that out. I'm going to demo all that wire out of here. Then I think I'm going to put an outlet there and there where you see the blue tape. So I'll have 2 outlets here in the dining room. And it's going to come over here. And then up here is where the upper cabinet is. It's going to have LED lighting under the bottom of it. So I'll need to land some of that 4-wire or what is it, 6-wire cable. Looks like this right here. And it is going to be used for that LED lighting under the counters. So I'm going to need to put an outlet up here to power the LED controller. Right here, or maybe over here toward the corner more, is going to be an outlet for the microwave. Outlet here above the countertop, outlet here below this that just to plug stuff into next to the sink. Sink here, outlet here, here, and here. This switch is going to be that 3 gang box. This will be on 1 circuit here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and down here I'm going to put a wire for the dishwasher. Now I'm going to separate this off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is going to be on 1 circuit. A separate circuit is going to be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Funny thing is, here's code on this. These can't be any further apart than 4 feet. This right here is further than 4 feet. So I'm going to have to build out some 2x4s, mount the box here. Can't be any more than 4 feet across the sink. Probably have to mount some 2x4s out here to mount the box with. I'm going to try to use this original holes that are already here with the wires. And so I think I've got a pretty good plan on most of that. So let's get started demoing the wiring on this wall. All right, so I marked this wall right here at 48 inches, and I put my laser level across here so I could catch that level all the way across all the walls. So I don't really need this laser level particularly. When I hang the cabinets, I will, but it's fun to use anyway. So let's locate where the upper cabinet's going to be. So I'm going to lower that down just a hair. Okay, that's right at 42. And that's not. So that must slope down a little bit. Check something out here. Yeah. So that sheetrock's hanging down just a little bit. Maybe that's why. It's a little low there. That's at 41 and a half. Forty-two. Never tightened up. There's one circuit over here. Now let's see if we can put it down that hole we just drilled. Okay, I can't find this hole I just drilled, so let me stick this in there. See if I can see that. Oh yeah, there it is. Very good. I'm gonna reach over there to get that. All right, so I do need to pull one more circuit here and then 2 circuits for the 2 switches that go right here, one for the garage lights and one for the outside backyard lights. So I'm going to drill one more hole here. We'll mark this GFCI 1. All right, I marked off 24 feet and did not cut it, and I'm going to push 24 into the attic because I measured it to go to the breaker box, and it's just less than 24 feet to get it down out. So I'm going to shove 24 feet up to the attic, and then once I get that done, then I'll pull it over there to the box. Ooh, I cannot tell you how hot it is in that attic. It's unbelievable. It's probably close to 100 outside. It's got to be 120 in that attic. You can't even stay up there for about 5 or 10 minutes, and that's about it. So that looked good up there. I need to shove it up there, and then I can run it along the length that I need to get from this point all the way over to that outlet that's going to be right there under the window. And then it's going to peel off and go to these other outlets. GFCI dose. GFCI CI1. All right, I'm going to go up in the attic and feed that down the wall here. Y'all should see it come out here pretty soon. That's it. That'll work right there. All right, so I got all this wire pulled through here. I've got both circuits pulled, and now what I need to do is mount the boxes here, here, dishwasher, outlet, and for the undercabinet lights. So I need to cut some 2x4s to make this probably 8 inches or so out where that box mounts. I don't want to put it all the way in the corner here, and it can't go over here. This one, if I put the box on this corner, I have to have another box within 4 feet, and 4 feet's about right here. And I don't want an outlet really here, the sink, and then an outlet way over here. I kind of want to split those apart. So I'll shim this out, build it out with some 2x4s, mount one right here, 4 foot. I'll mount another one, and then it's 4 foot. Actually, that's the last run. That is 4 foot to the next circuit right over there though, and that goes on over this direction. So let's start building those outlet boxes. So let's check some measurements here real quick. No more than 48 inches apart, and no further away from the sink edge than 12. So that's 12 here. The sink will be further this way. That also was good. And then 48 inches away. Yeah, we're perfect. Outside to outside is 48. Let's see. No more than 48 inches away here is 32, and no more than 48 inches here, and that is 32. Perfect. All right, so this prep work up in the attic for all this wiring, really it's a ton of work, and it's not that it's particularly hard. I've got plenty of room and extra holes up here to bring wires down, but it's just hot in that attic. I mean, oh my gosh. So here's what I've got done so far. I need to land these two on these two breakers. This one right here, I just pulled for the garage lights and the backyard lights. I'm bringing its own circuit in there. And this one right here is going to land right here. So here's that wire. I did terminate it in the breaker box. The breaker is off. So this is going to come in here. I'm going to cut it right here and attach it to these wires here. These two are the backyard lights right here. And for right now, I'm going to use the original wire going over to the garage lights. Y'all have probably seen these little Wago, I think they call them. Yeah, Wagos. They will do 24 to 12 gauge wire, and they lock in. All right, let's go turn the lights on, see if it works. Whoops, got to put the switches first. This is no longer a neutral. It is a load carrying wire, so it is labeled black. All right, that must be the backyard. Yep, there you go. Very good. I just want to reverse these two because I want the garage lights to be right there. Well, all right, that worked really well. I switched that back to the other side, so this is outside garage lights and outside backyard lights. And I got all this stuff all done. I've got all the little plates here so that when I screw into right here, it won't go in there if I got too long of a screw. While I was at it, this little line that you see right here, I wanted to go ahead and put an outside outlet, and I wanted to tie off of this washing machine circuit. And it turns out, I double checked this, it turns out that circuit is one of the few that does have a ground wire with it. So it is a 3-wire wire. And on the outside, what I did was this. Okay, so right in there is where the old washer drain went outside. And what I did out here was, went ahead and put this little covered GFCI outlet out here in the backyard. And went ahead and landed all the wires here in the breaker box and closed it all off. Also here, I went ahead, the original wiring that came right here from this circuit that feeds this room on the other side, it came across here right at the 16-inch mark, and there was an outlet that's right there. You know, eventually I'll get in that other room on the other side and redo the wiring, all the sheetrock will come off. But for now, I terminated that there so that I could put these outlets at 16 inches, the proper height. Because you can see where the wire came through right there. That's exactly where I needed to put that box. So that looks good, and I mocked up where the wires for all the under cabinet lighting are going to go and fed them through this underwire cabinet here for this cabinet, and then this upper cabinet will be here, and the light strip will come around this corner. I think right now I'm ready to close this wall up. I have the chance to do everything I need to do in here before it gets closed up. So I think I'm done. I'm gonna do my best to put all the insulation in there. It's kind of funny, all of these openings on this are all different sizes. And what I have insulation wise is 15 inches, it's 16 inches wide. So let's put a tape measure on these holes and see how haphazard they are. So this first one by the door, it is 19 and a half. This one in the corner is 22 inches, 11 and a half, 15, 13 inches, 11 and a quarter, 19 and a half. I don't know. I don't know how, I'm gonna have to cut so much insulation to fit. And then on this here, I don't know if I should add onto the top of this or not. I don't want to compress this any. You know, that looks like that's probably thick enough, and it's rock wool, which is good insulation. But there's a little bit of room here to be able to put some. Gosh, I don't know. I could lay some over that. But I'm going to start right here now. We're going to put some insulation in there, and I'm going to do it the best I can. Say to separate it right there if you want your wire to go between it. And I do. So tuck this behind. Let this wire lay in there. right, just gonna work my way all the way around through all these little nooks and crannies and do it the best that I can. A little bit loose, so a screw in that. All right, so a couple of these studs were a little loose. I went ahead and threw a screw in that one. And right here, this one was cracked there where they drove the nail from the top. So I just scabbed a piece of wood there and screwed it in, put a screw in this one. And then last night I started putting the insulation in here, and I thought where the cabinets bolt up, I want to have plenty of room up there for me to throw screws in for those uppers. And I'm a little worried that I won't be able to always be able to catch a stud. And that's just going to make it really easy with those 2x6s up there. And up here, I'm going to throw a little more insulation in. And like I said in the first video, I'm probably going to throw a shelf in. And it looks like there's plenty of wood on that header up there. Oh, that'll work. Make it 12. Well, all right. That doesn't look too bad. I would never make it as a insulator because insulators don't tape up joints like that or tape around boxes or tape around the plumbing. But I just wanted to give it a little strength in that area where I had to cut it and rip it and around the boxes, give it some more strength. I'll probably go ahead and put a little tape around these where these low voltage wires come through so it won't tear as I'm messing around with it. But I did not realize I used this R13 that I had. It was up in the attic. I probably used that on the other side when I was doing the washing machine. The new stuff that I bought was 15. And let me tell you, it's a little nicer. But, I'm not going to mess with taking any of that down and redoing that. It's going to be just fine. What I will do, I think I'll take these scraps that I have left over from this one roll, and I'll probably put those across the top just to get rid of them where that old rock wool is. But that rock wool's in pretty good shape. I think I'll pull it out a little bit, make sure it's got air. There's a little bit of room in here to put some more insulation, but I think if I try to use this insulation in those pockets, I'll end up compressing it too much, so to speak. I just don't know that it's necessary. But I think what's going to come up next is I'm going to sheetrock it all. I've got that green stuff to go around, just about probably to over here. And I have both windows ready to put it here and here. But y'all are going to have to wait till the next video to see that one. So we appreciate you hanging in there. We appreciate you watching. And we'll see you on the next one.